Today we are going to learn about accounts from incomplete records. This topic is included in the NCERT Class 11 Accountancy and also in the Tamil Nadu State Government Class 12. This is the first chapter. So let's go into the topic accounts from incomplete records. So first we'll look into the maintenance of accounting records. In India, according to section 128, subsection 1 of the Indian Companies Act 2013, companies have to maintain records according to double entry system. We have already learned about double entry system in class 11. So companies are compelled to follow double entry system. But when you talk about other organizations like sole proprietor and partnership firms, they are not compelled by the government or by any act to follow double entry system. So according to their desire and wish, they maintain records. And now, as we are talking about incomplete records, what's the meaning of incomplete records? So those records which are maintained or which are recorded, which doesn't come under double entry system are called as incomplete records. So those which are incomplete, which are not according to the accounting principles, we call it as incomplete records. So in incomplete records, normally cash accounts and personal accounts are maintained. Cash accounts and personal accounts are maintained. When you talk about personal accounts, customers accounts and creditors accounts are maintained. All the other like real and nominal accounts are maintained in a partial way. So now let's talk about transactions. So that will give us a more clear picture about incomplete records. Let's talk about transactions. When we talk about transactions, some transactions, both the aspects, both the debit and the credit are maintained, and for some, only one aspect is recorded, and some transactions are completely omitted. So let's talk about both aspects or both aspects. When you talk about both aspects, cash received from customers. Cash, for example, cash received from customers is recorded. Likewise, cash paid to creditors are also recorded. Cash paid to creditors are also recorded when we talk about both aspects. When we talk about one aspect, I can give you an example like expenses paid, where only cash alone is recorded. So this is the way incomplete records are maintained. Let's look the features of incomplete records. As we already had a base, from there we will draw the features. First, let's talk about the nature of incomplete records. It is unscientific. It is unsystematic. Why we say so is we don't follow accounting principles over here. So the nature of incomplete records is unscientific and unsystematic. Then when we talk about the types of accounts, as I already told, we here maintain cash accounts and personal accounts. We don't completely record real accounts and nominal accounts. Partially it is done, and some transactions are even completely omitted. So these are the types of accounts maintained. And third, suitability. So this type of accounts, incomplete records, are very suitable for only sole traders and partnership firms. They are not suitable for companies. And when we talk about uniformity, there is no uniformity between organizations. Why? It can be maintained, there is no rule. It can be maintained according to their suitability, and hence there is no uniformity, so we cannot compare accounts. And there is also a possibility of mixing up of personal accounts with business accounts. Personal accounts with business accounts. Let's move on to the limitations. Yes, we know there will be limitation as it's an unscientific and unsystematic method. The first limitation what we see here is we cannot prepare a trial balance. A trial balance cannot be prepared. We cannot prepare a trial balance, and as a result we will not be able to find the profitability, the true and fair view of the business concern, and also we will not be able to find, or it's very difficult to find, the financial position, the correct financial position of the concern. And most importantly, error and fraud cannot be detected. Error and fraud cannot be detected. So these are the limitations of incomplete records.
Let's see the difference between double entry system and incomplete records. Basis of distinction. First is recording of transactions. In double entry system, both debit and credit aspects of all the transactions are recorded. As we saw in incomplete records, it is not recorded completely. Some transactions, both aspects are entered. Some transactions, it is partially recorded, and some transactions are completely omitted. And second, it is type of accounts maintained. When we talk about double entry system, all the three types of accounts are maintained fully, but in incomplete records, only personal and cash accounts are maintained fully. Real and nominal accounts are not maintained fully. Next is preparation of trial balance. Trial balance can be prepared in double entry system to check the arithmetical accuracy of the entries made in the books, whereas in incomplete records it is difficult to prepare trial balance as we are not maintaining all the accounts. Fourth, the basis of distinction is determination of profit or loss. Trading and profit and loss account can be prepared in double entry system, and so we can find the true profit or loss, whereas in incomplete records we cannot prepare trading and profit and loss account, and so it is difficult to ascertain the profit or loss in an accurate manner. And the fifth is determination of financial position. Here we are in double entry system, we prepare balance sheet which will show the true financial position, whereas in incomplete records we will not be able to prepare balance sheet and will not be able to find the true financial position. When you talk about suitability, it is suitable for all types of organization, whereas incomplete records is only suitable for sole traders and partnership firms. The seventh distinction is reliability. When we talk about reliability, double entry system is a scientific system and is a systematic accounting system, and hence it is reliable, whereas incomplete records are not reliable because they are unscientific and unsystematic. When you talk about acceptability, it is double entry system is acceptable by all users including tax authorities and financial institutions, whereas incomplete records are not acceptable to all users.
So before we end this class, we will just make a revision of what we have learned. Today we have learned about accounts from incomplete records, and we learned what is incomplete records and who will be maintaining the incomplete records. As we know, those records which are maintained without double entry system, we call it as incomplete records, and it is maintained by sole traders and partnership firms. And also we also learned about the difference between double entry system and incomplete records, and here we saw the features of incomplete records and also the limitations. So with this we are concluding here. In the next class we will be seeing how to calculate, using this incomplete record, how to calculate the profit and loss, and also to understand the financial position of the concern. Thank you.